So my name is Alex, and I work in the Dean of Students office, and I'm going to assume that none of you has ever been to the Dean of Students office before today, and we're going to pretend that I don't recognize any of you over here, and we'll just kind of take it from the top. So at the Dean of Students office, we kind of deal with two different things, and so I'm going to go some bad cop, and then we'll do some good cop in just a minute after that. And so today what you're going to hear a lot of, I'm sure that you've already heard a lot of it, is a lot of different information about how you can be successful while you're abroad. And so I know that you've gotten information on health and safety and just general tips on respecting the laws and the rules of where you are. And so we're just going to add a little bit to that. So before you leave, and I really, really mean it, please read the Student Code of Conduct. You are absolutely responsible for the Student Code of Conduct while you're away. What is the Student Code of Conduct, do you say? Well, here it is. You can find it on our website, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But all of our students, whether you're here, whether you're just a little bit off campus, or whether you're like thousands of miles across the ocean away from campus, are responsible for the Student Code of Conduct. It's 26 different things that you're not supposed to do, okay? 26 different things of them. So we don't want you to do any of them while you're away. We'll talk about that. So when you go abroad, okay, you're going to hear a lot of horror stories from people before you leave about times that they've gotten in trouble or things not to say and not to do. I'll give you the general bit of advice that I've given folks in the past. If you do find yourself in trouble, I really recommend that you not tell people that you're an American lawyer. That's pretty much like the worst thing you can possibly say. Take it from me, I've been there. Now I know a lot of you may also realize, oh hey, it's maybe only 18 to drink alcohol in Amsterdam, so I'm just going to get wasted on the plane ride over. While that may be a legal option for you, I'm going to go with folks that have come before you and say that's maybe not a great idea, to be dehydrated, to be ill, and then having to explain to customs officials that you really aren't in fact a terrorist or at all. You really want to be at your most articulate if you ever do find yourself in trouble. It also helps your credibility to not be completely intoxicated when you're trying to say, no, I swear I didn't do anything wrong. So back to the Code of Conduct. Here's where we're going to be bad cop for just a minute. So you need to read it, you know that. You are still a U of A student when you're abroad. So whether you're at 4th Avenue University or you're in Paris, you are still a university student. Being away from Tucson doesn't excuse you from complying with the Code of Conduct. That means things like endangering, threatening behavior, harassing people, so hitting on people when they don't really want to be hit on, requests for all that kind of stuff, sexual advances. If people don't really find that welcome and think that you're creepy, that can be a problem, so don't do it. Really, really take the time to go through the Code of Conduct. Saying, oh, I didn't know that I had to read what? The Code of Conduct, that's also not going to be an excuse. And the principle is, if you are wherever you are, if you wouldn't say, well, gee, I didn't know that, for example, Paris prohibits me littering and spray painting buildings, they're not going to really find that a particularly convincing argument. Neither are we in the Dean of Students office going to say, oh, you didn't read the Code of Conduct? Well, that's okay. It's not a problem. We're not going to say that. So I don't want to freak you guys out and make you think that you're absolutely going to get in trouble, but we just want to make sure that you understand that in addition to the laws that you have to look at and your program rules, that you are still a student, and we don't want to see you get in trouble. We don't want you sent home, and then we don't want you sent home and having to have a really awkward conversation with us when you get back. It might move forward, it might not. So just as a copyright thing, because we're trying to comply with laws and regulations in the Code of Conduct, those sounds that you came from Law and Order. So again, our Code of Conduct, really, really please take the time to read it. We just don't want to see you guys get in trouble. So now we're going to switch just a little bit and put on our good cop hat. So at the Dean of Students office, we're not always just gloom and doom and when you're in trouble. That is the most often time that we see students, is when they're accused of doing something really problematic. But on the other side of things, we are always still here for you if you need assistance. So if you find yourself in trouble, we know that you've been talked to about your resources and getting to the folks, getting to your advisors, to the folks who are running your program, but also know that because you're still a U of A student wherever you are, you can come to student assistance as well. So you can get a lot of information both about our code of conduct and about student assistance by going to the Dean of Students website. And so you can just Google Dean of Students, it'll come up, probably the code of conduct first, you should read that, but student assistance will also come up. So long-winded way of saying that with student assistance, we help connect students to resources that are going to help them be successful. So if you find that you're having a difficult time, you don't know who to connect to, you need some information, health and safety concerns, you have concerns about a friend, it's a difficult transition, whether you're away for a few weeks or a few months. So know that we're here as a resource for you as well if you find that you're having some concerns. I think that's it. So the real short story is you can still get in trouble with the university while you're away, and if you are in trouble, you can still contact us and we'll do our best to help you out. So we hope that we get to see you all be successful and be happy and be safe, and really what we mean is we hope we don't ever have to see any of you, that you just have fun and you're safe and you have a great experience while you're away, but know that you can still be in touch with us, hopefully in a good way, but possibly also in a bad cop way. But in any case, we hope you have fun.